All right, we're back once again, and as we said before, you do not have to date to get to know somebody on an interpersonal level. Um, as we said in our last segment, our first real one-on-one outside the group conversation was a year ago today, and we both left that conversation knowing it was something more than just your basic friendship, small group type of affiliation. Um, After small group ended in April, we were just basically from my phones email blasting. We're from a couple a day to like, man, 7, 8, 9, 10 a day a piece. I'm talking. We were emailing each other. I mean, well into after 12, 1 in the morning. I'm waking up at 5:30. Checking my phone for an email from this girl. Then she checking her phone in between breaks at work, seeing if I responded. It was like, wow. I mean, it was just like natural going back and forth, and we'd get more personal with each other. It was great because it's like, all right, and we, without saying anything to each other, because we both were like, all right, when is the other person going to say, okay, I'm feeling you, I like you more than a friend? Both playing poker, like, you just go ahead and tell me, girl, I'm all that, so I can, she feels the same way. Will you tell me that you're interested in me? And to be quite honest with you, we could have gotten together a lot sooner than we did, but we both kept just kind of waiting for the other person to say something, and it was obvious because I'm talking about within the first month, I'd say right before Mother's Day, we must have exchanged at least 200 email messages a piece to each other. It was crazy. I had to do my own separate folder for her on my email. I'm serious. I had my own separate folder for this woman on my email, and it was just crazy wild. And I remember I wished her happy Mother's Day at church, and it was kind of like one of those church hugs at first. Like I gave her a hug on the side, stuff like that. Nothing real hardcore. Then one day she said, I told her how good she would look with makeup and a dress on, because she would always wear nice slacks and a shirt or whatever else. Well, one day she caught me off guard one Sunday, and according to her, I came swooning over to her when she got her car. Yeah. The woman had a dress on, some heels. Yep. Face did up. I was like, oh, Lord. I ain't gonna front on you fellas. I'm not gonna front. I was like, oh, Lord.
Let me tell you.
She's a beautiful girl anyway, but when I saw her with that on, Lord, I had to go over and talk to her and say,
it was Sunday. I was late, okay?
She was.
He went to the first service. I was going to the second service. So I'm rushing in. So I was like 10 minutes late. So, and my church is only for an hour. So, 10 minutes is a big deal. So I'm rushing in, cute little sundress, the whole 9 yards. He's in the parking lot, right? So I'm walking past. When I see him, I am sashaying my behind off, okay? So then
extra twist in the walk, fellas. Ain't gonna front.
So I see him and I'm like, hello. He ran over to me, skipped, and
brisk walk.
No. I was over here, let's say, walking, kind of fast. He was like over here, and I said, hello. He turned, he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Just like that.
Wow.
Yes, with the hand movements and everything. Yes. He jumped over to me to speak to me. As brief as it may have been, he ran over to me. I said, you feeling me now? I said, yeah, now you can see what I could, because, before, I'm just a regular chick, so I'm just dressing, jeans and sneakers, or, I look nice for church, but I wear uniform all the time. So I don't really have to dress up or anything. So when I went to church only one day out the week, then, it's a relaxed church. I'm not going to really go all out. But then as our friendship started to grow and whatnot, and I really got a handle on what his tastes are, I said, I'm going to shock him now, because he's away from me after church. But anyway. But yeah, so I said, okay. And I put on, it's a simple sundress. It came all the way down. It was a maxi dress, very simple, no skin showing, no nothing. But he didn't see that side of me. And honey, he done bounced all over. I said, yeah, I got you now.
Let me just take you all back a little bit. There was this misperception that I like these high maintenance women, and I don't.
He still does.
I don't. I like women who know how to dress. They know who wear
Makeup,
dresses.
Hair
right,
done,
which is any normal man likes that. Now, do I like over the top stuff? No, I don't. I just told her, and I said, I bet you would look good in a dress and your face makeup a little bit. I don't like caked on makeup. And when I saw her, I said, oh my God, because I was right. I mean, most men can visualize a woman of interest all dolled up when and she exceeded my expectations that particular Sunday. So I'm not going to say I didn't go over there. It wasn't the way she claimed it, but I did kind of out.
He bounced.
But then from there, I was still unsure. I was like, well, God, this can't be her, because I had an idea. We all have our ideas of what we want God to do for us in terms of a spouse. And I enjoyed her company. I loved her friendship. We got along. But I was like, oh, God, she got dreadlocks. And that's because I was never attracted to a girl with dreadlocks. I didn't care what color, race, ethnicity. Just dreadlocks wasn't my thing. Again, I thought she was a beautiful girl anyway, but dreadlocks wasn't me, I kept pointing God to all these other girls in church, and, God, in his very humorous way, was setting the stage for our discovery of our feelings for each other. Now, I remember an email I sent probably right late May, maybe I'd say early June. And I guess I said something to her that she didn't like, and sent an email response back that night, Saturday night. So I figured I'm going, if I see her at church, I apologize, because I wanted to make the apology more personal and meaningful, do it in her face. So before I could walk in the door good, first thing, no, I'm sorry, let me take that back. Before she could walk in the door good, because I was the first service. No, not even a good morning, happy Sunday. Did you get my email response, Dominic? I'm thinking, good morning to you too. And yes, I did. Well, I said, okay, Monica, what is it that you want? Or first you tell me what did I say that was wrong. Then when she realized that I was interested in what was wrong, before the apology, you saw a different side of her. She explained to me what I said that,
Because, okay, we used to fight all the time by email. Not really fight, but we disagree with we used to have grammar fights, okay? So he thinks he has aced the grammar class.
I did not.
Exactly. I agree. But
wow, okay.
But so we had grammar fights, and he was trying to prove his point to death, and I would prove my point to death, and we would go into the dictionary and all these different things, and we would go back and forth, back and forth. So fine. So we had little disagreements like that. So this time he's gonna send me a whole long email about what his point was and blah blah blah. He had a nerve to go to sleep on me, so I sent a whole long email back. So then
I did read
he didn't send anything back to me.
I was asleep. Hello.
He had the nerve, like I said, he had the nerve to go to sleep on me. So
1:23 a.m. fellas, I'm done.
So when I saw him the next day, and I'm just like, hello. We had this huge fight about grammar, whatever. I want to know your response, because I felt like I cursed him out on the
And by the way, it wasn't a fight in church. I asked her what was the problem with what I said. She told me, and I apologized to her. And I actually slipped up and said something I didn't think to say.
He did.
I said, well, I didn't want this misunderstanding, because, I want to make sure that everything is right with someone that I care about. And I said, and I got in the parking lot. I said, did I just tell this chick I actually care about her?
And he went like this. He's like, I really care about you. I consider you a friend. I don't want any misunderstandings between us.
I said because we are friends.
Oh, because we are friends. Well, either way, I'm a friend. So
consider me. But I said are friends.
Either way.
And I didn't realize till I got in my car, because like I said, I was already at first service. I was leaving. She was going to second. I said, what did I just tell this chick? Oh, my God. But
that threw me off guard, too.
Then it dawned on me as I was driving away, this chick actually likes me.
You should have thought about, I actually like this chick. Because you're the one that said that. You should have been like, Because mind you, I just said, okay, I accept the apology, something like that. And I went into the service. And I didn't speak to him until, of course, after I got out and we emailed or something like that. So he should have been like, I really like this chick, because he said that. I didn't say that.
Well, let me tell you another part. It was right, I'd say, this Sunday after Father's Day. We were emailing back and forth up to that point. And she said, say something in Italian to me.
Oh, my God.
So, and I forget the particular phrase I said, but it was something about...
It was a romantic phrase.
Something like, you're beautiful, I love you. Something real simple.
Yes, that's what it was.
But, and again, it was the first thing that came to mind. So I typed and sent it to her. And she says, well, I didn't tell her what it meant. So when we got to church that Sunday, she was like, what does that mean? First say it in Italian and tell me what it means. Again, so I told her. And she said, what does it mean? I said, it means you're very beautiful and I love you. Man, you would have thought I called her the B word, said something about her mama. She got so hot with me and said, You can't tell girls something like that. You know, girls may take you seriously. And she stormed off in the church.
Because first of all, when you speak in another language, depending on what it is, it already has a romantic vibe to it. Unless you're saying, you know, toilet paper and something like that. That's one. Two is the fact that why would you pick those words? Of all the words to say, you could have said, hello, how are you? You could have said, we're going in church, or church is this, anything else. That's very generic. Why would you say you're beautiful, I love you? Out of all, even if you say just you're beautiful, you have to say I'm beautiful with I love you. Why would you say those things? And then to some random chick, and not to say I was random, yes, we was friends then. Yeah, I knew he was going to say that.
About to say, random, really?
My point is, that's not your wife, that's not your girlfriend, you're not courting. We wasn't courting at the time, we were just friends.
Generic statement.
Why would you, it's not a generic statement when you say you're beautiful, I love you. If you went to some random chick in your school or just some random chick at church that you didn't really know, and you told her that, she gonna feel some type of way.
Here's the thing, fellas. She said, say something to me in Italian. It was the first thing that came to mind.
But I didn't say something romantic or say something endearing. You could have said hello. Simple as that.
See?
Hello.
You see? You can't win. You say something.
Why would you say you beautiful? And then,
of course, most of you all understand it was the first thing that popped in my head because it was the easiest to remember.
But then he's going to say, oh, it was nothing. What you mean it was nothing?
And to this day, I say it was still nothing.
You can't tell girls certain things and certain phrases, especially in another language, and going to be like, oh, it's nothing.
Here's the thing. You can't tell this girl who basically had the vapors for me, something like this.
Now we going back to the
That's
vapors.
why. If she had no feeling for me at all, like, oh, that's nice, Dominic. But because she had feelings for me, and hold on, because she had feelings for me and was unsure how I felt for her, that's why she got upset and stormed off and walked to church.
No. Any girl, right, ladies? Exactly. Any female where they got a guy who y'all are friends, that you like, that y'all are kind of on the you don't really know if y'all gonna whatever.
No one knows what that means. That means
girls know, but fine. Y'all kind of like on a wishy-washy, don't really know where y'all are and stuff like that.
We knew where we were. I knew where we were.
In your mind, but either way, you don't tell a female you're beautiful and I love you. In period, if you don't really mean it, that's one. Two, you don't do it, especially in another language. And then the way he said it before church, he whispered in my ear, mind you.
Oh my God, I brought her close to me, not in your ear.
If it was a generic statement, you would stay from a mile away because it didn't mean anything. Why would you come over the?
Okay,
why would you do that?
That's exactly how close I was. It was not in your ear. See.
But nevertheless, everybody else couldn't hear. So
how about she storming church, man? I was laughing.
I was mad. I was mad for a while.
I was laughing the whole time.
They're still kind of upset because I'm just like, come on, why would you say that to someone and be like, oh, it's nothing. You're going to shrug your shoulder like it was nothing.
And to this day, a year later, guess what? It won't nothing. Because look where she at right now.
It was something because look where I am right now.
Exactly.
It was something.
If she was all mad.
Because you wouldn't say that to a random chick. Or you wouldn't even say that to your mother. You wouldn't even say that. You wouldn't say that to anybody.
Gentlemen, my mom asked me, I've already told my mother, my grandmothers, my aunts that unlike her, they ain't walk off. But anyway, from that point on, after she got over herself and got beyond that, the emails actually started to increase beyond that point.
After the Lord worked on my spirit.
Right. That next Sunday, guess what? We hugged for the very first time. I will admit that. And then something happened that never happened to me before was I felt something different that I never felt by hugging another woman before. And I was like, oh my God, I do have something for this woman. This was still June of 2014. You know, and then she felt something. And then all of a sudden, we start flirting with the idea of, well, you know, what if I came over your house or what if you came over my house? Again, just kind of lightly testing the waters to see what the interest was. And all right, well, let me know. I'm saying, well, you let me know.
Then our conversations became personal. It became surface and stuff, but we had more personal conversations, getting to know you conversations. Well, you know, what do you like when? And, you know, what do you do when? And how do you feel when? And stuff like that. When before, it was just, okay, you know, church this or I'm going here. Very simple. But now it became really personal. I want to know what he thought, what he felt about things and so forth.
And I will say this much, fellas. One time I had on, I guess, a polo shirt, some slacks, had my A-level cologne, and she just say, wow, you were looking good and smelling good today. That's when I said, yeah, I got her down. But our salutations were more personal. I actually would go up to her in front of people, give her a hug and a kiss on the cheek, which is unlike me, but again, you could see feelings were coming out more and more to a point where, all right, we were talking about more personal things. What you see yourself in this situation? What kind of husband you like? What kind of wife do you want? You know, stuff like that. And it really became real personal. Not in the dirty sexual sense, but just like, you know, what kind of person can you see yourself with? Because I'd already been married before, and that was like I said, my my 5th year of divorce at that time, and she'd never been married. So of course now you're trying to figure out what is her ideas on marriage, because now it's obvious the interest is between us. It's kind of known, but not known by other people yet. So at that particular moment, I knew then we had to make a decision, and we didn't go on that very first, I'd say date till like October, which is like June, July, October, really like 4 months later. And even at that first date, we had to make a decision. Either we're going to stay friends or we're going to ask God for confirmation in court. And, you know, that's where we had to leave it at. So if God has to tell both of us yes, if he tells one of us no, we'll just be friends, and we'll have to back off the communication some. And that's how we ended up to where we are now in our courtship, which will be a kind of our next segment.
But then also, mind you, during this whole time, communication time, we didn't really have sexual conversations. We didn't have, you know, oh, what do you like to do when, and all that stuff in a sexual manner, intimate manner, none of that. It was just a getting to know you period. Now, mind you, unbeknownst to me, of course, because I didn't know we would be where we are now, but we didn't have all that flirtatious, you know, conversation that people of the world, I'll say, have, you know, or can have. So it was just getting to know, because again, the way we started off, we were just friends. We was just, first of all, we hated each other, then we became friends, and then it was just, you know, okay, well, I value him as a person. So it, you know, all that intimacy and all that stuff didn't really come into it for a very long time. So, you know, we just became friends, and that's what we was. And
when she mean intimacy, she's just saying strictly below the surface stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff you wouldn't normally tell
anybody,
a person on the street.
Right.
Stuff about your personal life, your family,
background,
me telling her about why I got divorced and where and how the stuff in between me actually, before I surrendered, how I was living between my divorce and before I just finally told God I had enough. That kind of intimacy, you know,
exactly,
because I want her to know who I was, not some fake guy trying to get in her pants, because that was not who I am. You got people in church who try that stuff, or girls who have, you know, bad motives to try to get a guy. And I just knew that we were both just being honest with each other. And I'm gonna tell you something. After that first date in October, fellas, which was what 4 months after. Well, actually, it was like 10 months after we met. Was our very first date in October.
Yep.
And we took a long time to get to know each other, to where we felt comfortable. We're actually just being around each other one-on-one, away from our own church.
That's right.
So again, you do not have to date someone multiple times to get to know each other. It may seem slow how we did it, but I tell you one thing. You see where we are now as a result, because God told us, okay, yeah, you all can court, because he had to get us right for each other. And I'm glad we took the time for friendship-wise to do that and pray for God. Yeah, pray and have people pray for us, because if we didn't, we probably end up doing something we should have done, or maybe going a way that God didn't want us to go. And I'm going to tell you right now, you know, it's just getting better and better every day.
It is.
So, our next segment, you know, will be on our courtship. You know, how it's kind of actually gone from now we've gotten this confirmation to now readying ourselves for marriage. So it's kind of a bit long-winded. We apologize, but you know, we kind of going off script impromptu, but that's just what we did. So
that's how we roll.
Yep. So thanks again for listening and tuning in, and we'll definitely see you next time.
We gotta have a name, honey. We gotta, you know, keep saying names. We gotta
name of what?
You know, name of something. Name whatever our channel name is.
You said thanks for watching Boaz and Ruth and Boaz.
Ruth and Boaz.
Yeah, thanks for watching Ruth and Boaz and Ruth. B comes before R.
All right, there you go. Thanks for watching Ruth and Boaz, or Ruth and Boaz 2015. We working on it. We working on it.
It's a work in progress.
Ruth, because I like it, but I don't love it. I feel like, or Ruth and Boaz, or yeah, I guess.
Lord.
Yeah, well,
We'll get back to you today. But
Ruth and Boaz.
just,
Well,
just thanks for tuning in.
Monica and Dominic.
That's our
M and
name.
D.
We're done. We'll cut
D
this-
and M.